Hi. So in this session, we will go ahead and discuss about ASP.NET Web API using .NET 8 because this is the latest framework. Recently, uh, we got this framework, and what is Web API? So Web API is a framework for building HTTP service that can be accessed from any client like browser, mobile devices, even desktop applications as well. Okay, in simple terminology, API is a programming application programming interface. Means interface module that contains programming functions that can be requested via HTTP calls, either to fetch or update data for their respective clients. Okay, so before if you see here, right, this is our client and this is our REST API. So REST API will connect to the database and get the records, and then so client will request data through this HTTP verbs. We will discuss what is HTTP verbs and in the in the coming sessions. So we have get, post, put, and delete, and REST API give response in the form of either JSON or XML. Okay, this is a small overview on ASP.NET Core Web API. So before we start coding, we have to install some prerequisite in your machine. So these are the prerequisites need to install in your machine. So firstly, what you have to do is you need to have Visual Studio 2022. Okay, to install Visual Studio 2022 community version, what you have to do is go to Google and Visual Studio 2022 community version. Okay, so, click on this and just go ahead and download this one and install. This is pretty straightforward installation. Just click on next and then it get installed. Okay, so this is the first software, and then the next software is, what is the next software here? ASP.NET Core SDK. So you have to install this SDK and runtime. So the same way you have to again type ASP.NET SDK Core SDK. Okay, download. So again you have to install this SDK. Uh, so based on your let's say I just so okay, we got 9.0 also, but right now we are doing this this demo on 8.0. So you can go ahead and get this based on your operating system, whether your Mac or Windows. So just check and go ahead and install this. So if it is Windows, go ahead and install this software. Just download and install. Okay, so this is our second software, and the third one is SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. If you go to again Google and type SQL Server Management Studio, so download this. So this is for database. So go ahead and download this and install SSMS. Okay, so once you got all the softwares right, then we can check. Let me, first of all, we have installed Visual Studio, right? So once you install Visual Studio, you have to go to your program files and click on Visual Studio 2022. Okay, so let me go ahead and show. Okay, okay, this is what our, okay. So so here you have to do, click new application, new app project, and so we are working on ASP.NET Core Web API, right? You have to select ASP.NET Core Web API, And here what you have to do is select ASP.NET Core API and just go ahead and click on next. Okay, so we can give any name here. So what I'll do, I'll just go ahead and in my learning I'll create .NET 8. Dot will not take, right? Okay, net 8. I'll create a folder here, net 8, and then I'll select. So here, uh, first, what I'll do, I'll just give employee. No, I will do bookstore. Bookstores API. Okay, so click on next. Don't worry, I think font is little small. So click on again. You don't need to worry about all this. You can just directly leave it as a default and click on create. So the application is create means the new project is creating. Let me see. Yes, we got the project. So what I'll do, I'll just increase the font. Yeah, so I have to increase the font, right? So to increase the, I don't think so how we can increase these fonts. But what I'll do, I'll where is this collapse? Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just go to tools, options, and general. So there is a fonts here. So you can increase your font. So right now I'm just having 17. Click OK. So let me click here. Okay, so this font is okay, bigger, but this editor still it is small, so don't worry. So we are more focusing on the code, right? Okay, so let's say so we installed the project. That means we created the project, and like we see some files here. So connected service, dependencies, properties, controller, app, setting.json, program with us. So we have all the files here. So what I'll do, I'll just explain all this file structure as well. But before that, I just want to run this application. How this application runs. So I'll simply what I'll do, I'll just click on this. Okay, to run this application, just you have to click on this this symbol. Okay, so it is executing, and while okay, I think it is started. Where is the root screen? Where is my solution? Okay, so it is executed. So let me show you this. Okay, so by default, because we are using Swagger, so that's the reason, because it is internally it is using Swagger, so they have configured. That's the reason you are able to see Swagger, UI. So Swagger generally we use for we use to run the APIs, and to check the APIs that APIs API data. So what I'll do, I'll just go ahead and click on this get. Okay, so click on tryout and execute. Okay, so this is the response, and this is our API. This is our API requested URL, and this is our response. This is the request and this is the response. So here it is giving. So for today's temperature, it is giving for this. This is for swirling, sweltering, scorching. So they have given some summary also. Don't worry about the content, but to run this API, what you have to do is you need to click on this green symbol so that it will run. So Swagger they use Swagger to to test the API. So the so what I'll do, I'll stop here for now, and maybe in the next session we'll start writing the coding. Means we'll create a bookstore API, and then we will connect to database, and we'll fetch the data from the database, and the details we can get, and we can insert, we can update. So all that stuff we will be doing in the next coming videos. Okay, thank you for now.